Hello Virgo, this is your March 2017 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com. And this is for anyone who has their ascendant, sun or moon in the sign of Virgo. And if you don't have time to watch the 3 horoscopes, at least check your ascendant sign, check your sun sign as well. And we're gonna focus on this monthly horoscope basically on Venus going retrograde. This is the most important events happening in March. There's some other things that as well happening, like Mars going into Taurus, and but they're much more casual events than what we're gonna be witnessing in regards to Venus going retrograde, and I'm gonna focus on that. And Venus goes retrograde once every 19 months, and the last time it was retrograde in your 8th house in Aries, guys, was 2009. Here it is, Venus will be, if this is Virgo here, then this is the circle of the earth, or like the sky around us, that's below us, the earth, that's above us, that's the eastern horizon. So your Virgo here, and Venus goes retrograde here in this area of your horoscope, which is known as the 8th house. And the last time this happened was 2009. Do you remember something that started in 2009 that might be coming to an end now? Because Venus retrograde is the final, especially the first 3 weeks of the Venus retrograde. It means most of March is the final 3 weeks of the Venus 19-month cycle, which means that something is coming to closure. And very possibly something that started either 2009, which was 8 years ago when Venus was retrograde again in your 8th house, or maybe 2015, the last time Venus was retrograde. But it's not kind of, these are just orienting days. 2009, the last time Venus was here retrograde, to 2015, last time Venus was retrograde, January. But think back to this period, and you might be completing something from those 2 periods, to those 2 years, something important that started. You might be ending something, or you might be bringing something that started in those 2 years to the next level of expression, to the next level of appreciating it in your life and integrating it in a more harmonious and balanced way in your life, because Venus is finishing a cycle, and you're going to see this new beginning in regards to Venus topics, which are naturally connected to love, to relationships, to values, especially from April onwards. While most of March now, Venus is in its first cycle, which is the ending. So it might have some more crisis-prone situations, like things ending, completing, things disappointing you, some kind of mini crisis that, you see like, oh, there's no more point for me to keep this in my life, or this person, or what's worth my efforts and energy. Do you appreciate yourself enough? Venus, the planet of love. Do you love yourself enough? You start thinking, maybe I've been giving too much in this project, or this partnership, or this relationship, but particularly it might be centered around topics of the 8th house, because Venus goes retrograde in the 8th house for you. So it might mean that in March you might have to re-evaluate and re-examine financial matters, because the 8th house is one of the financial houses which rules mutual resources, money, that comes to you, or that are connected to a partner, business partner, or marriage partner, something that you own together, something that money that comes to you through banks, through other people, through loans, through people that you let a flat, for example, to, or your spouse. So something might start moving in a different way, in a different direction from March, connected to resources that come to you through others, so that they're mutually held together with others. Whether it's bank accounts, whether it's mutual assets, whether it's, say, if you have a partnerships with another artist and you possess together a studio, you possess some resources together for painting or whatever, together with that business partner. It's all 8th house matters that things start changing there. Some problems, if they were avoided till now, they'll come to the surface to be resolved. You'll have to dig back into old finances or agreements, financial agreements, or agreements that were involved your resources and another person's resources. Is not necessarily just money. It might be time, And this is the eighth house is the results of combining your efforts with another person's, your own talents, your own resources with another person's. For example, what can happen? You might have to rebudget together with a partner. Something can happen that you have to look back, re-examine your resources and draft a new contract of responsibilities or resources between you and a business partner or a personal partner. Or maybe some money that was owed to you from the past can come back now. That's a positive manifestation of Venus in the 8th. Say someone owes you money and they haven't given it to you. Venus starts going retrograde. Something is coming back to you from other people. Or maybe someone owes you a book or a dress that you thought you'd never see back, and it comes back to you from another person. Or maybe you applied for this loan or for this some grant or something, and you haven't heard, or it was scrapped before, and now it comes back and you are able to get it back again. But it's not if you apply for totally new business loans or totally new loans or totally new business ventures with another person. Then Venus retrograde is not this period. It can create problems. Now it's something from the past completing, giving its final results in March. Or just showing you that it's not going to give any final results, so you put the cross on it and you move on. Say you've been expecting those $500 for 5 years now, and it's been bugging you, you've forgotten about it, and then you start thinking about that person who's been owing you this money. Maybe you meet them or something happens that you finally are able to say, okay, obviously I'm not going to see this money at all, so I'm not going to be upset anymore about it, and you just leave it from your consciousness. And Venus starts a new cycle of 8 years in your 8th house. So it means that after Venus starts moving direct, or basically after the 25th of March when the new cycle starts, you'll be able to find new resources from a new partner, or for a new mutual joint venture. Or maybe your partner can lose their job, so some kind of resources that comes to you through a partner disappears. So what happens is that it's reevaluated. You have to rebudget, but when Venus starts the new cycle, there will be a new opportunity for you to gain to do business, or or for your partner, for example, to have a new renewed financial opportunity at a different level. Or maybe you're in a business partnership already and things are not fully going so well when it comes to the mutual resources and finances. And when Venus goes retrograde, you start re-examining that, and you start thinking, okay, am I putting too much, or are they putting too much and not getting back enough? So you have to re-examine the clauses of the contract, the clauses of this agreement, financial agreement, or it might be moral agreement, or it might be emotional agreement of some sort, of give and receive, because that's what the 8th house is, resources that come to us through others, and that we share with others as well. And this reevaluation happens, so after that either it's changed, the rules are changed and they're improved, or you move to the next level, or you kind of forget about it and you start looking for such support from other sources. But again, the best manifestation, it can be that something that you own mutually with someone can come back to give rewards now, or to be worked on again and improved on again. So after Venus starts moving direct, you can receive some improved financial results from that. Another thing 8th house rules is sexuality and intimacy, secrets as well, especially secrets between two people. So such secrets can come to the surface again, to be re-examined, to be addressed, and hopefully to be dealt with. If not, to be if not able to be dealt with and bury the hatchet, then unfortunately it can lead to some kind of a rupture in a relationship or contract. But something secretive can be coming to the surface back to visit you over the next few weeks in March. I would say take this as the whole of March, basically. Another thing is issues of intimacy and sexuality that might be even connected to something traumatic, might start coming into your surface, into your subconscious, from the subconscious to the surface. Because 8th house is where we keep our inner demons and traumas from the past lives or earlier lives, which means that when Venus starts going retrograde, we're digging deeper into those secrets or traumas, especially connected with intimacy and with opening our heart and trust to someone, and someone taking advantage of that in a predatory way, or maybe by ignorance in some way, because 8th house is the house of kind of influences that are, more predatory, darker, a bit demonic, we call it, basically. It's not necessary so, but this is, and especially connected to relationships and sexuality and love, because this is what Venus rules. And such more traumatic experiences, something that you haven't been able to resolve fully within you, something that is blocking maybe the ability to be intimate with other people, the ability to move your relationships forward, will be transmuted, will be transformed in a powerful way during this Venus retrograde. And this process can be kickstarted by a bit of a mini crisis, by such issues coming to the surface, even if you thought you've left them behind, connected to intimacy, to sharing, to opening your trust and your heart to another person and being taken advantage of, or being something dark happening there, or unsavory. It might only be, say, in your subconscious, it might only be in your dreams that you start re-experiencing this, but it might be like a similar situation that awakens all those feelings, like a deja vu, so you can re-experience them and you can see them from a different perspective, because time has passed now. Venus wants to re-examine those old issues, to trust, intimacy, sexuality, and to re-examine them from a more evolved perspective, because sometimes has passed through those things. Maybe you were young, maybe it was a past lifetime, you are not evolved enough, maybe you were even from 2 years ago you've grown up more, and now Venus retrograde, retrograde means you're seeing things from a different perspective, not like normally Venus moves. It gives you a different twist to it, which helps you kind of rebalance it and heal it in some way. Even if it feels like painful memories that are coming to the surface, or reenactment of such situations. What psychologists say? Well, if something has been buried in your subconscious and covered, it starts festering and creating pus and poisoning the whole body and health. And in your case, Venus is the planet of love, poisoning all your self-worth, poisoning all your relationships generally, your ability to trust and receive from others. What we receive from others, not only financially, but what we receive from others as care, as intimacy, as sexuality. This is all the 8th house. So very deep, intense themes Venus retrograde is bringing back, and it might be like a healing crisis that first, like psychology says, something has to be repeated, to be brought back from the buried subconscious, so it comes to the surface and it bursts like in a healing crisis, bursts like a wound, but you no longer have this overall body poisoning that's been happening in regards to love, intimacy, and matters of trust, and how much the universe is giving you back through others, because how much you trust in yourself as well. So yeah, it might be intense, it might be more, it kind of sounds more darker themes than other people, but it also will affect your own personal finances, because Venus also rules Libra, and Libra is your second house, guys, here, and which means that themes that are connected not only to other people's resources, but your own resources and your own ability to create financial abundance and stability and to pay your bills, such themes, and your own self-worth, because the second house rules your own, how much you value yourself and how worthy you feel. And when the planet that rules it goes retrograde, you start re-examining, am I valuing myself enough? Am I worthy enough? And why am I asking for more? Or why is my self-confidence so low that and it might be connected to something that's happened to you through another person, that I've blocked my finances, and it might create for something in your own personal finances that you have to restructure, reorganize, redesign, and start on a higher level when Venus starts this new cycle in April approximately after that. So this can take your financial situation at a different level, more evolved level. And it's connected again, I repeat, to very likely to something in the 8th house, which is trauma from the past, some buried secrets, or someone intimacy with another person as well. It can also help resolve some intimacy issues, but first it will increase them. Intimacy issues connected to sexuality from the past. This is the 8th house. And to be able to untangle those knots in regards to intimacy, we need to deep dive into those moments, re-experience them. This is how psychologists heal you. Experience the moment of past trauma, you see it from a higher perspective, you let it go, and you move on, and there's no longer here a blockage. And blockage would directly affect your financial situation, but it stems from a psychological self-worth issue or intimacy issue from the past that has blocked your ability to feel, to give and receive, or to, maybe giving too much, not receiving enough, or maybe something unbalanced there that is actually even impacting your financial situation and how worthy you feel. So, that's so far what I have for you guys for Venus retrograde. I hope that was helpful. It's kind of intense, it's deep, it's psychological, but by the time Venus turns direct by April, May onwards, you would have, those values would have changed, and hopefully you would have redesign those areas of your life connected to 8th house issues that we mentioned, and be at a better financial and better psycho-emotional and psycho-emotionally sexual ability to give and receive. Thank you so much, Virgos, and I will see you next month. Subscribe to me and follow me on Facebook.